Hello guys and welcome back to the course. This time we will be creating new gaming apps for the Android, and this is going to be a really fun section as it involves gaming and some cool stuffs. So I personally prefer it much. So let us just start. So this is the basic idea of the app, that we will be having a man who is running to collect the coins, and by tapping on the screen he will be jumping to collect the coins. And uh, like this, the coins will beautifully appear. And see, whenever we strike a bomb, the game will gets over, and we see a dizzy screen like we have seen like this. And on the same time we have our scoreboard keep moving here. So this is the pretty cool app we will be going to make during this session. So for that we will be requiring a platform, like basic platform for making games. So we should firstly get that. So just go to Google and type libgdx.padlogicgames.com. So this is a platform which is free for all users. We can use these platforms to create our apps. So we will just be downloading the stuff from here. Okay, so you have to just find where to download it. Like we'll get started here. As it is an open source, so we don't have to pay for that. We can just get it for the free. So we have to click on setup a project, as it is also connected on GitHub. So this is a pretty cool stuff. So we will just be downloading it. So here this is the process they have mentioned it. We have to set up a development environment. For Android Studio we can get it from here. So we will just be downloading it for Android Studio. Okay, this is for the Android Studio. We have to find for creating an object. We have already installed Android Studio. So here is the link to download the GDX setup. So we will be requiring this GDX setup. It will get downloaded, will take a few seconds. We have to allow this to get downloaded to our screen. So here is the setup. We just have to make few changes in it to get this platform downloaded. We have to name it, so I will be naming it Coin Run Man. And I will capitalize it. And here we can give any package name. I will prefer this one, Cephii Code. And here we have to give our class name, so I will write this coin. Okay, so here we have to set the destination where we want to download it. So I will create a separate folder on the desktop. And I will name it Coin Run Man. And here we will have to set the part to your SDK, so we can get it from our Android Studio. Just go to Android Studio and find this icon, Android SDK Manager. Yes, this one. And we will get the location to our Android SDK. Just copy it from here and paste it as it is in this setup. Okay, So these are the options which we can create, like this is a cool platform as it provides for everything. Like we can make gaming apps on iOS also with using by using HTML also, but here we are going to create app use for Android only, so we will uncheck everything. So just click on generate and we will click on yes. Okay, just give it a bit time, it will get downloaded. Also, if you are facing any issue in downloading this, you have to go to your settings in your PC and go to system preferences, and thereby selecting security you can allow the external storage to download the app. So the build is successful. Now we can import our gaming platform project. We just have to import the project in the Android Studio. Now we can find, we have set it up in a new folder in desktop. We can find here. Where is it? I put it in the desktop. Yes, this is our project and we will get it imported. I will close the previous one. So we have our new project here. We can have our Gradle file here. We just have to go to core, or we can find it here. So this is the assets folder. I will explain every feature of this project. This is the asset folder. We will be adding our images to this so that we can implement that in our app. So by default we have a bad logic gaming platform which we have downloaded, with so whose software we have downloaded. We have that image, and we can get our project writing file from here. We just have to find it here. Here is our file. Yes, we can get it through here. So this is our coding part which we get by default. So I will explain this one by one. So this is our package name which we have created during setting up the platform, and these in this we have our libraries, like we can check it from here. These are the default libraries which this platform provides, and here we can see there are some words like batch and texture image. So the texture keyword, this is used to add images to our app. Like if we want to add images to our app, we will create an object using this keyword, and then we can add it to our app. So there are in override method there are three features. There are three functions. First one is create, second one is render, and the third one is dispose. So these are the most important features of this app. Like in the create method, we will be writing our code that should be shown as soon as the app opens. So we will be having image by default. We will be having the image only, and render feature, this is the most important feature of our app. So what does this feature do? This feature repeats the code for you over and over during the app. As soon as you close the app, this feature will stop working. So by default we have a red color, as we have set up red equal to 1. So we will be having red color in our app for the background. And here we have seen that batch dot begin and batch dot end. In between we will be writing our code. So we will proceed further. So dispose function, we don't have to worry that much about it, as we will be not writing much code in this. So this is the basic code which we get from our platform. So let's just give it a run to check what is there by default in our app. We'll wait till our emulator shows up. So here is our emulator and here is the screen. So as I said, we get a red colored background scheme, and here is a symbol of bad logics, which I am said that we have got in the assets. So we are done with installing our setup, and we are done with the first part of our video of creating this cool gaming app called Coin Run Man. So we will be meeting in the next video and we will proceed further with our coding part. So in the previous lecture we have set up our GDX platform, and in this lecture we are going to start with our coding part. And firstly we will be seeing manifest file, our manifest file here. I will just search for orientation. Yes, there is screen orientation. So I want our app to be in the portrait mode, so I will just change it from landscape to the portrait. You can choose as what you want, but I will want this game to be in the portrait mode, so I will just write portrait and I will just give it a run to check. Till then I will be seeing some code. So also we have to add some pictures to our app. So for that you have to download some pictures from the net. So I have already downloaded some of the pics which we are using in the app. Like these are the pics. This one is for the background, and these are the coins and bombs, and these are all our characters. And there are different states. Like we will be creating an illusion of these four images. There is by using the function which we have in our Android Studio, render feature will help us to create a loop to create an illusion of these four pics. And at the end, if our character strikes with a bomb, then we will show our busy character. Okay, so let's just check for our emulator. I have to restart it. Okay, so first of all I will tell you where to download the images. You can search for flat icon. Here you can get the cool images of bombs and coins for free. Like here you can search for coins. You can select any of the coins you want. So I have already selected. I will not be selecting again. Also, if you want the character images, you can visit the site opengamesart.org. Here you can get the character images for free. Let's just wait for it. Here you can search, like you can search coin man, or its real name is mascot man, so you can also search by typing that. I'll search it by mascot run. Okay, so here is our character. You can download all its images through here. So here are the states, and you can download all these files from here. Okay, so we will just come back to our Android Studio, and we are getting an error here. Android could not succeed. We will rebuild that, but before that I want to tell you that we need to remove these default images, as we don't want our app to show this. We will be creating our new background and all this, so I will delete this. We will keep this batch.begin and batch.end, as we will write our code in between of that. Okay, so I will remove this image also from here. Okay, so let's just start our code writing, and also to insert our images all into the app, we have to copy it from here. It's running slow because of the Android Studio, so I will just copy it and I'll just paste it in the asset folder here, as where I have tell in the previous video. So I'll just right click here and I'll just paste it. Okay, and here we can see we have all the images, like I can also check it here, like we have this background screen, and also we have our character here, so we can resize it or we can change how we want this in our app. So I will close this for now, and from here I will start writing our code. So first of all, to insert our image into the into our app, we need to write a little bit of code. Like we will be writing texture. First we will be creating a texture, like for the background I will be giving it the name texture background, and in the create folder, like as I have said, those things which we want in our app to show whenever the app opens, we need to write them into the create function. So I will be writing so I will be creating a new batch here. So in this batch I will write background is equal to new, I think I have missed R. Okay, background is equal to new texture, and then we have to select its path. So we have to give the same name where we have set this, like bg.jpg. So I will give the same name and I will put a semicolon. Okay, so by this we can add our texture here, and to implement it we have to write it in the batch. So we use this batch feature. I will start it from here, batch dot draw. So we will be using this batch dot draw to insert our image into our app. So batch dot draw, and then we have to give its firstly its name, and then we want some fonts, like we want texture XY and also the position. So what are these positions? These are the positions for which we want our background to fill up. Like if we want to fill this whole screen with the background, we will be giving 0 as X coordinate, 0 as Y coordinate, so that it starts from the corner of the screen to the right corner. Okay, and also we have to give the height and width of the background. So as we want the background to be completely filled, we want the same height and width as that of our GDX background, the platform which we have set up in the first video. So we will use GDX dot graphics dot, there is a method called get width, we will get that, and then we want its height to be set up. So we will be using gdx dot graphics dot get height. Okay, so by this our background is set up, so we can just give it a run to check whether it has implemented successfully or not. So here is our emulator. We can see that the background has completely filled and we are ready to move on. So now what we want to introduce our character into the app. Like during the start we want our character to be in the exactly middle of the screen, so that when we proceed further we will tap on the screen and our character will fall down. So before that we want our character to be in the middle. So to implement that we need to use all four of our images, like I have used here frame 1, frame 2, 3 and 4, and we all four we want them all four in the render method. So as I have said that render method will its work as a loop, like it will be repeating infinity times. So it will be creating an illusion of four images, like we will be we will see it as our character is running. Okay, so for that as we need four images, so I cannot store them singly, so I have to use array, a rectangular array. So for that I will be creating texture array, and we can give it the name man, as we want to introduce our man in this app. So next then I will be using it here, just call that texture, and inside of that as we knew we have to give the address where we have set up that. But before, as we have used array, so we have to give the size. Now it is implemented, and now here we have to give its path. So we will be setting man 0 as we use array in Java. Similarly we will be using here. Okay, so for first one we have to do it separately for all four. So I will give it the name as I have given in the asset folder. So frame 1 for the first, we want similarly for the others, so I will just copy it and paste it 4 times. I will just make some changes here: man 1, man 2, man 3, and frame should be one more than this, 2, 3 and 4. So we are ready with this. We just have to work with our render feature. Okay, so in that we want our man to be in the center of the screen, so we have to draw it here. So before that as we need to draw we need to implement 4 images in the render folder. So we have to introduce a new variable which will be we will be calling man state, as our man will be having different states. Like first one is this, second one frame 2, third one is frame 3, and then frame 4. So we will be implementing first int man state is equal to 0. We will initialize it by 0, and then we want to use it here in the render feature. Okay, so if our main state, like if our main state is less than 3, as we have used the 0 1 2 3 4, these are our states. So if our main state is less than 3, I think before this we should simply set up our man here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, so here we will just be adding bash.draw as we have did for background. We will be doing the same for our man. Okay, so for the x coordinate I will just want it in the mid of the screen, so I will use gdx.graphics dot get width divided by 2, and for the height I want the same. And also we, by writing this, we will not be getting it in exactly mid of the screen, as because our man also is we have made our man also as an array, so it will also be having its own width and height, so we also have to subtract it from both. I will show you. First of all, I'm getting an error here. I will check it why it is occurring. Oh, okay, I have to give here any state, so I will use man 0 for an example. Like I will first run it, and I will show that our man will not come exactly in the middle of the screen. We have to do some changes to do that. Like we can see that it's not exactly in the middle of the screen, like it's little bit right. So why this has occurred, I will explain here. As let us assume that this is our screen and this is our man. So we want it like this, but it is slightly here, as because we have given the position gdx.graphics.get height divided by 2. So this is the height and this is divided by 2. So we want we expected that it would be here, but it also has its own size. So this thing has worked like gdx.graphics.get height divided by 2. So it has came here, but it start from here. Like we have a corner point here. So this thing has come in the middle of the screen. We can see that in our emulator, that if we assume that it has a rectangle around it, then its corner position is exactly in the middle of half the screen, and also from the width it is exactly in the middle. So we have to subtract the height and width of the man from the height and width of the gdx setup. Okay, so I will write it first. We just have to subtract the width of our man. Like I will subtract the width man of 0 dot get width divided by 2, and also I have to subtract we want the height was okay, so we will just subtract it. We don't divide it by 2. Man 0 dot get height. So here we will not be dividing by 2. Okay, so let's just give it a quick run. It is running. We can see it here. It's taking a time. So let's just give it a run. So we will now be seeing that this man will be shifted towards left a bit so that it is exactly in the middle of the screen. Here comes our app. So we can see that it is exactly in the middle of the screen. Its height is a little bit down. We want it start from here. So I will just do it by dividing it by the 2. Rather, I will remove the subtraction part. By this we can see that our man is correctly in the position. So now we will see the changes. So as we can see here, our man is in our exact position. So we have done pretty well till here. So in the next video we will be using the render function to make our man illusion. We will see how to make it, how to create an illusion that it is running. So till then, stay with me. We will be start by introducing a new variable. We will be adding in man state, which will be telling in which state our man is. So initially I will initialize it by 0, and as we know we have 4 states, 0, 1, 2, 3. We will be alternatively using them, like I will write it here, like if the man state is less than 3, we will be increasing the state, as it will be firstly by 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, and as soon as it gets increases by 3, we will write our new code. So we will be increasing here our man state. As it will be on 0, it will be increased by 1, and it will come to now 2, then 3, and as soon as it becomes more than 3, then we will write our code. Then it should get automatically initialized to 0, so that this activity repeats, as it will be forming a loop, infinite loop. As man state becomes more than 3, then we will be initializing it to 0. Then it will go again and again, 0, 1, 2, 3, then again 0, 1, 2, 3, and it will create an infinite loop. So at the conclusion it will show like an illusion that our man is running. So we have to just change in this, as we don't want the zero state, we want the state which is running, like from 0 1 2 3, it will automatically show our character there. So I will just replace where I have written 0 to the main state. Okay, so I think this is fine. Let's just give it a run. It is taking a bit time to run, as I have started the app just now. Now it is running. So we can see that our character starts running, but it is way too fast. So we will be writing a bit of code to make it a little bit slow. I will just minimize it. So how we have created an illusion, as we have created an infinite loop to just run again and again from zero state to the third, and then again zero to the third. So how can we decrease its speed? So what we are gonna do, we will be introducing a new variable name. We will name it pause, and we will be initializing it by 0. So what we will be doing is we will be introducing it here, that if pause is less than, let's start with the 8. It's just a guess, we will see if we can change that value. If pause is less than 8, then pause should get increased. Yeah, it's the pause is just used to give it a pause or a free time, so that after the loop is been running from 0 to 3, it will get a pause, then again it will run from 0 to 3, and then a pause for a limited time, so that its speed get decreased. So if this is not the case, then we should use our code, this code, and also in the else, when we enter, pause should get equal to 0. Now I think this will works fine. Let's just give it a run. And check whether the speed has decreased or not. Yes, we can see that our man speed has been come to the definite value. You can if you want it a little bit high, like if you want its speeds to be a little bit high, you can change that number to 4 or 5 or 6, so he will be running faster. But I think that's fine, that's fine for our app. We will be changing it in the next videos if you want, but I think it's fine. Okay, so I will be finishing this video here, as in the next video I will be introducing new variables, some like velocity and gravity, to make our man fall from the middle of the screen, and then it will be showing that it is running on the ground and collecting coins. And then we will be introducing jumping and the coins and the bombs. Let us see that in the next video. Welcome back to the lecture where we were creating our gaming app, and we have done pretty well till the last video. In this video we will be making our man jump on, as soon as we touch the screen, our man should jump. Okay, so first of all I should make him fall, like as we start the game it starts from the middle of the screen, so I want him to be down, like it should fall down and then starts, and then hold, it should get hold at the horizontal, like at the bottom of the screen. So what we are gonna do now is we will be introducing some factors, like we will be introducing new variables, and that should be float variables. Why I have used that I will tell you afterwards. So I will be introducing float gravity. I will initialize it to 0.2 f, as we know that for float we have to write f for the value. So why I have chosen that value, that is just a random number. We can change it as the game demands. So by initially I will set it to 0.2 f. So now we will be introducing another variable. I will name it velocity, and I will initialize it by 0. So okay, so what where we are using this is, we want as the game starts, we want these factors to be get added or subtracted, so that our man gets fall down. So I think we should initialize another variable that will be our man's y coordinate, so that we can change that by using these factors, gravity and velocity. Initially I will be initializing it by 0. I will change it here. So as we have set it here, gdx dot graphics dot get height. So okay, so this was our man's y coordinate. So I will just cut it from here. I will set it here man y, and as we want this thing to be in the middle of the screen, as soon as the app opens we want our man to be in the middle of the screen. So I will be writing it in the on create method. So I will just give the value man y, and I will paste it here. Okay, so so for the initializing, I have initialized it by 0. As soon as the app opens, our man should be at the middle of the screen, and I have set it here also the same value, so it will not be an issue. So the changes I have made will not have an impact till now, but now I can introduce these factors, like I can use here, okay, I can introduce here velocity and gravity. So I will be setting velocity equal to velocity plus gravity. So why I have done this, as soon as I have set the value of gravity to be point f, so the velocity value of velocity will get increased, as this is as I have written this in render app. So as I have said before, this will create an infinite loop, so velocity will keep on increasing, and as this will be keeping on increase, I will add it, I will subtract it basically from main y, so that man y, as I will first correct it. So as soon as the velocity increases, as in this line, the velocity will get increased to a very high value as soon as the loop runs. So as the velocity increases, see in this, as the velocity increases, the man y will decrease, so it will show like our man is falling from the screen. Okay, so why this is showing an error, let me check. uh, okay, I have initialized the main value here. Okay, this is correct. Man y is equal to 0, and y dot get height divided by 2. This is okay. I think this is fine. Let's just wait till further. So I cannot give it a run till here. Let us just check with this. Okay, that is working fine. As we know that in Java we can also write this minus is equal to, it means the same as man y is equal to man y minus velocity. So let's just give it a run to check whether our man falls or not. This is running. Here comes our app. So we can see that the character falls. Oh, but it falls down below the screen. So what we are gonna write, that whenever it should come near here, like if man y becomes equal to 0 or when it becomes less than 0, we will assign the value of man y to be 0, so that it will stays here. As man y is this, like I have set it the man y coordinate of our man. So as it is decreasing, as we can see that here it is decreasing, so I will assign it a value. I will be using an if loop. I will assign if condition, that if our man's y coordinate becomes less than or equal to 0, then it should be assigned its value to be 0, so that as soon as the man reaches the bottom or below the bottom, it's automatically come to the 0th position, so that it will stay here. Like we can see the visual. Let's just give it a run. Hope it should work fine. I will run it once again. That seems an issue. I will run it now. Let's check it. So here comes our app, and we will hope. Yes, now congratulations. Now we have done so much well till here. And also I will be adding a next step in this video, that as soon as we touch on the screen, now nothing is happening. So I want, as I touch the screen, our little dude should start jumping, like it will start floating in the air. Okay, then in the next video we will be adding coins and bombs, and they will be striking off to our man. Okay, so how to do that? We have a, I will add it here. So GDX, that the platform which we have set up in the first video, it provides a method. So what's that method? If GDX dot input dot just touched. So this is a default method that it provides, that as soon as we touch the screen, then what should happen? I will decrease the velocity. I will assign the negative value to velocity. As this is a random number, we can change it as according to our game, but I will set it to this. So why I have set this value to be the -10, I will explain this. As I have set this value to be -10, so as soon as I click on the screen, the velocity will become -10, and we can see here that if the velocity becomes -10, then man y will increase, as we have set man y is equal to man y minus velocity. So negative value of velocity will get add up in the man y factor. So man y factor will keep on increasing as soon as I touch the screen. It gets increasing as fast as. Okay, so let's just give it a run to test whether it has successfully implemented or not. Here is our emulator. So here comes our app. Okay, so this work fine. I will just tap it. Yeah, congratulations, we can see that our man starts jumping. Okay, I guess this speed is fine. I'm touching it so many times. So we can see that as I touch, our man starts jumping. So congratulations, you have done pretty well till here. So we will be meeting in the next video, and we will see how to introduce coins and bombs, and they will be coming from the right of the screen and will strike our man. So there is not more than we have to just introduce some things, and we will be done with our first gaming app. So just stay with me. Hello guys, and welcome back to the lecture. So we have done pretty well till here, and in this video we are going to implement coins and bombs in our app. So to insert the coins, as we know, we want a lot of coins in our app, as the character will run to catch the coins. So we don't know the exact value, like I don't know the exact number, like 100, 200, how many coins do we need. So I will use an array list. We have two choices, we can use either array or array list, but I will use array list, as we don't have to specify the space, or we don't have to specify the length of array before creating. Okay, so array list is that's why it is preferred, we don't have to specify its dimensions. So I will use array list here. So I have to create two array lists, one for the x coordinate of coins and another for the y coordinate. So why I am using these two coordinates, as because I want to change both of them, as x coordinate will be according to the graphics width, and height, which is y coordinate, that should change at different levels. At different times we should get coins at different heights, so that our coin man, which our characters jumps and catch the coins at different heights. Okay, so firstly we will implement array list and add it here, and I will name it as coinex. I have to add library. I will just press alt enter, and I will give it the name as coinex, as it's the x coordinate of coins, and we will create the same as we did for others. we have to specify the data type here, which is integer, and we don't have to mention its size, as this is the feature, this is the advantage of array list. Okay, so we have to use the same for y coordinates, so I will just copy it and paste it, and I will make this change. Okay, so I have implemented array list, and now I have to add texture for the coin, as we did for everything to insert images. So also we have to we have to insert the image of our coin, so I will use this. And also I want to add another data type here, which will be coin count. So it will keep a count, keep a number, like how many coins we are adding. So we will increase decrease the coin count, as we have did for pose or other features. Similarly we will do it for coin count. Okay, so now what we have to do, firstly we have to insert the image. So we will do the same task as we did, like texture. So I will add in on create, as we did for background and our character. So I will use the same code, which is I have written texture coin in the above section. I will write here coin is equal to new texture, and then inside of that I have to specify the name. So I can check that by here coin.png. So I will write the same coin.png. Okay, so we are done with this. Also now I have to show you another method, which is named as random method, or random class we will use. So before that we should implement a new class here. Just wait, we can implement that here only in the onCreate. After onCreate we can implement a new class. We know how to create a new class, public void, as it will not return any answer. So I will use void. I will make this method called make coin. So by calling just this method we can make coins. Okay, so how to make coins, we can see that here. So I will use float height. Why I am using float, as because we want our value from 0 to 1, as I will tell this afterwards, just stay with me. Float height, and we will use random class here. So what is the random class, I will explain you that. So random class is another way to generate a random number. As we know, we have to insert the coins, as coins will come from right side of the screen and goes toward the left side. So they should come at different heights. Like they cannot come at same height. If they come at same height, then there is no use of the gaming app. So our character should jump, should change its height to catch those coins. Okay, so to insert coins at different levels, we use this random class, so that we will use that for height. So different at different heights our coin will get inserted and our character will catch those. So these are the methods. So if you are going to use this class to generate numbers, you have to follow these steps. First you have to import the class, that we can simply do by adding alt plus enter. And then we have to create an object of random class. So how can we do that? We know that we can do that by using new keyword. We will see that in our coding part. And out of this we can invoke any of the methods. So we will be using new float method, next float, sorry, next float method. So why are we using next float? We can see that in the next float method it generates random value between 0 and 1. So that's why we are using it, as because I will show you here. As because our emulator screen its height will, as it is 0 to 1. So if it height is 0, then it will the coin will come from bottom. If its height is 0.5, then it will come from middle of the screen, and if it height is 1, then it will appear on the top of the screen. Okay, so how can we implement that random class here? So firstly we will have to we have to import the class, which we can do by using alt plus enter. Then we have to create an object of the random class. So we will do that. We have to make an object of random class. I will use it here. These things we do in on create method. So I will just, okay, so before that I have to initialize it. I will just initialize it here. Here it is. I will just implement it, and below there I can create its class is equal to new random. Now it is done. So uh, so from here you can see it is showing an error. Okay, so we will use that random method here. So as I had told, we need to use the next float method here, so that height remains between 0.0 to 1.0. Okay, so I will multiply it by the gdx dot graphics dot get height. So why I have did that, as this is just a number, that 0 to 1, it can be 0, 0.5, 0.1 to 1. So we have to multiply that with the gdx height, as gdx height start from bottom. So if it is 0, then the coin will come from bottom. If it is zero point 0.5, then it will multiply by this, and zero point 0.5 height, that is, it will come from the middle of the screen. Okay, so after creating that, we have to add it to our coin y, as y-axis will make sure that it is connected to height. So I will use add method. We know that array list has add method, so I will use this, and inside of that we have to just typecast the height, as we have used. We can only add int type in the add method, so we have to typecast that into int. So I will use, firstly I will write height, and then I will typecast by adding int. Okay, so it is done now, and also we have to change its x coordinate, as we know that the coin should come from right to left of the screen. So how can we do that? So firstly we will just add gdx.graphics.get width, gdx.graphics, as uh, x-axis is horizontal, so we will be using its width. Okay, so I guess we are done with this. Now we just have to make two things to make sure that it works. We have made the make coin method. So now we will, what we will do, see how can we make coin. This is the method, this is just a method we have created, so where we can implement this method. So in the render method, as I have said, that it creates an infinite loop. So after how many times a coin should appear, like I will just take a random number, it is 100. This is flexible, you can change if you want according to yourself. I will prefer 100. So I want that after 100 loops a coin should appear. So why so what should I write? If I will do the same as I have did for pose. So I will start from here after drawing all this. So I will just write, if coin count is less than 100, it should increase the value of coin count, as we have done for pose. Okay, so just do this. Else, so what will be the case? Then we will be setting the coin count value to 0, and also we have to make coin. Okay, so now you can see that if the coin count is less than 100, it will make a coin, and if it is more than 100, then it will initialize its value to 0 and then make another coin. So what this thing is doing is that after 100 loops, every 100 loops, it will create a coin. So as render method is so fast that it will be creating infinite loop, so after every 100 loops it will generate a coin. So we can say that in a perspective of 1 to 2 seconds, we will getting a new coin at different height. Okay, so just we are done, we are left with a single thing, that we have to create a loop here to make coins. We have just increased the value, we have not shown the coin on the screen. So what I will do is, for int I is equal to 0, I less than coin x dot size, as that's the size of the array list, and I should get increased. Okay, so inside of that I will draw the coin, as we use this to insert an image. So inside of that we have to pass, firstly we have to pass the name, which I have set coin, and then I have to pass the x coordinate. So we know that I have implemented an array list, and we know that array list has its methods dot get I, which is int. So we will implement that, and for the y coordinate we have coin y axis. And also I have to tell you one thing. Firstly I will write this. So we are done with this. So I have to teach you another thing, that how can we create that whenever the coin comes, it should come from right to left of the screen. We haven't written any code for that. So how can we write that? So I have created an array list in this to explain you that I will select this color. That imagine that this is the array list of coin x-axis. So this is for x-axis. I am very bad at drawing. So this is an array list of x-axis. So imagine if this is the position of the coin initially, then I want it to shift from right to left. As I have created coin axis as an array list, so it will work as the same. So imagine that our coin is here. Imagine our coin is here. I want it to move from right to left. So what I will do it after, as we are using this in loop, so I will subtract its position. Like if it is on the position, imagine that if it is on the position 5 in an array list, index it is 5. So I will subtract some number, like I will subtract 4 from it. Then it will come to 1 2 3 4. Then it will come somewhere here, and its index will become 1. Okay, so why I have did this? To move this coin from right to left. Okay, so we will implement this using the code. So what I will write here is, we will change its index. So to change its index, we have a method in array list called set method. So I will call that method, and inside of that I just have to subtract the coin value of initial. So we have to get that value first. So get index I minus, I will use the number 4. I think that will be good enough. So by doing that, we can see that our coin will move from right to left of the screen. Okay, so I think we are done with adding coins. We have written a bit of code. Let's just give it a run. Here comes our emulator. Here comes our man. Boom, we can see that we are getting coins. So isn't that exciting? We are getting coins at different heights. So now nothing will happen, as we have not written any code to increase the score and disappearing of the coins. So congratulations, you have successfully implemented coins in our app. So in the next video I will show you how to implement the same for the bomb. So there is nothing much difference in the coins and bombs. We just have to decrease the number of bombs, as the bomb should if the 5 coins are coming, then 1 bomb should come. Like that we will be creating the code. So most of the code we have to copy and paste, just for the coin, as for the bomb. Okay, then we will be left with the two or three things, like we will be disappearing the we will show it disappeared coins after getting collected by our character, and we have to also to show a scoreboard, like little scoreboard on the left screen. Here we can show that, and it will keep on increasing as you collect the coins. Okay, so I will enjoy the game. Till then, we will meet in the next video. Hello guys, and welcome back to the lecture. So in the previous lecture we have introduced coins into our app. So in this lecture we want bombs to be shown in our app. So we just have to write the same code, just we have to change a little bit of code. So we will just copy most of the code as we did for coins. We will do the same for bombs. Okay, so like this I will copy this and I will paste it for bombs here. I want bomb axis here. Same texture for bomb, and here I want bomb count. Okay, so similarly we will do it for the others. Like here I have did for coin, now I will do the same for bomb. So I will just change it. Also the name I have written of the image is bomb.png. And now as I did for coins, for making the coins, I will do the same for making bombs. So I will just I will replace coins everywhere by bomb. So this will remain same, just we have to change here bomb y's and x. So this seems good. Now we will change the for loops and also this part. So I will just copy the same and I will create a difference for both. Like I will I will write a comment here to show that this one was for coins, and I will do the same for bombs. So I will give comment here for bombs. Okay, so I will just change here coins with the bomb. So bomb count, now it's this is the only change we need to do, that we have set it this loop as after every 100 loops we the coin should appear. So now we don't want the same frequency as of the coins, as we want less bombs than the coins. So I will change this number to 250. So what does it say, that after every 250 loops we should get a bomb. Okay, so I will now be doing the same thing, replacing coins with a bomb. And here I will call the make bomb method. Okay, so we are almost done. We also have to change it here. Here also I have to do the same. And also this thing we need different from coins is the speed, as this tells the speed of moving from right to left, as we have shifted this in array list from let's say 5th position to 1st position. So this specifies the speed, as I have subtracted it for 4. So we will subtract, I think 10 will be okay, so that the bomb should appear faster, that it should move faster from screen from right to left. Okay, so let's just check it by giving it a run. How does it appear? Here comes our man. We can tap on it. Oh, boom, here comes our bombs. So we can see that the speed of the bombs are higher than the coins, and also they are coming at different positions. So congratulations, we have successfully implemented coins and bombs into our app. So the next thing we want to do here is, we don't have any impact chain, like after colliding with coins and bombs we want something to happen, like when we collide with coins our scores should increase, and when we collide with bombs, the game should get over. Okay, so for the collision thing, we need to learn something like how can we do that. So we use that we do this thing by using the array list. So what are we going to do is we will create an array list of rectangles. So as we rectangle is also a data type, like as we did for integers, we know that array list of integers, array list of characters. So we are doing the same for array list of rectangles. So what this thing will be going to do is we will create a rectangle around every shape. Like let's say this rectangle I will form by using the array list of rectangles for everything. Like here I will do the same for coins also. So let's say this is our coin and we will do this. Okay, so now what we are going to do through our code is after making array list of rectangles, we will have a method to check the collision. So we can detect the collisions. Change this. So what will be going to happen that if any part of it gets touched, that rectangles gets overlapped. So we have a method called overlap to check the overlapping. So if any let's say the coin is coming through here and it gets overlapped through here, for the any corner gets, if any corner gets touched, the we will write the code that coin should get disappeared and the score should increase by 1. And similarly for the bomb, we will create a rectangle, and as the rectangle collided with the rectangle of our character, then the game should get over and bomb should disappear. Also the screen should get, our character should change its character from this to the dizzy one. Okay, so we will see that in the next video, how to implement that. Hello guys and welcome back to the lecture. So in the previous lecture we have implemented bombs also in our app, and we have also learned something about the array rectangles. So I will tell it once again that we have to introduce array of rectangles, array list of rectangles, so that it will create a rectangle. We will create a rectangle around everything like our character, coins and the bombs, so we can detect these collisions. We have a method called intersector overlap, which will basically check if there is an intersection, like if there is a collision or any of the two things overlap, then it will, we can write a bit of code for that. Okay, so firstly we will be creating an array list of rectangles here. So we have to do this for the three of them, for the character, for our coins and for our bomb. Okay, so let us start by creating that for the for creating for our coins. We can do that here as we have did them separately. So I will introduce array list of, now this time we want that for rectangle, so I will implement a rectangle. Also we can see that we have many rectangles like this one, also we have this one. So I want this time I want this method. Why I'm choosing this method? Because the overlap method which we'll be using at the end of the video, that is that can be implemented only by using this library. So okay, so don't get confused between these two. We don't want others, we want this one, that is for the badlogic.gtx.math. Okay, so this will get imported automatically. So now we want that and we will give that name as rectangles coin rectangles, and we will use new keyword, new array list of rectangles, and we will keep that semicolon here. Okay, so we will be doing the same for bomb rectangles. This time I will be doing these two things side by side. So I will just name it bomb rectangles, and for the man we will do it separately. Firstly we will be doing this for coins and bombs. Okay, so go where we have implemented coins here, we have to go to the render method. Okay, so here we can see that we have used that for the coins, so I will implement that in this loop. Okay, so how can we do that? We have to use coin rectangles dot add as array list use add as add method if we want to insert something. And inside of that we have to pass four things. First one is the x axis of our coins, second one is the y axis, and then followed by the width of the coins and then the height. So firstly I will pass coin x axis dot get height, which we have our method in array list to call. Now I will do the same for y axis, coin y as dot get I, and now I will set the height and width. Okay, so firstly we have to set the width. So I will see the width. How can we set the width? Coin dot get width. Oh, I have came out of the bracket. Coin dot get width, and another one is coin dot get height. I think this should work. I will give it semicolon here. Also, the thing I want to tell you that as we have used this code in our render method, and we know that render method is an infinite loop, so it will be running infinite times and creating a lot of rectangles. So there will be a space issue for our app. So this might cause an error. So after every time we enter this loop, we will be clearing all the coin rectangles, so that every time it creates new rectangles. So we can also think of that like whenever a coin or any bomb passes, like as it moves from right to the left, so after passing off from the screen we don't want to use that rectangles, so it should get cleared. So we have a method called dot here we have a method called clear, so we will be clearing them side by side. Okay, so we will be doing the same for bombs. Let's just wait. So also we have to, I have left here something. We have also to create new object, as we are creating new object for everything. Like whenever we introduce something here, we create this by using new keyword. Like you can see that every time I have created a new class, so I also have to create a class for coin rectangle. So I will do that here. Coins dot add. I think we can do it here only. New rectangle. I think we can implement it here, and inside the that we can pass our things. Okay, so now it seems fine. So we will be doing the same for the bombs. So I will just copy it from here, and we have written the same code for bombs above. So I will be doing the same for bombs. I will just change the names. I will replace all the coins by the bombs. Like here I will use bomb rectangles. Here I will use bomb. Here also I need to change this. Here I will replace this again, and lastly this. So we are almost done with this. Also we have to use that clear statement here also, so I will use that here. That was bomb rectangles dot clear. So we are done by done with the creating rectangles around our coins and bombs. So now it's the turn for our character to get a rectangle around him. So let's just introduce a new variable. We can introduce it here. So what's that? We can give it name. Firstly we want to write the method, this one, and I can give it a name main rectangle, as this time we want it for our man. So main rectangle we have implemented. Now we will be doing writing its code, where we have drawn the man. So where we have used the main code here, I have to find that. Here we can see that we have drawn our man here. So we will be doing the same code here. Okay, so just use main rectangle, here it is equal to new, as we have to create new object, and rectangle is equal to new rectangle, and inside of that we have to pass, as we know, we have to pass here four things. First one is x coordinate of our main, second is y coordinate, then followed by its width and height. So we can copy that from here, as we know that this is our man's x coordinate and y. So I will copy the x coordinate first, we'll paste it down here, and for the y coordinate we can use man y as same as above. And for the height and width, so firstly we want its width, so we can get it width by man of main state. I guess we have used array list in the starting, so we will be doing that with the same man of main state dot get width, and then its height by doing the same man array list main state dot get height. Okay, so we are done with this, we have implemented that. So we have created rectangles around all three of them, the coins, the bombs, and the our character. Okay, so the thing now, which I was telling in the starting of the video, that we have to use a method here called intersector dot overlaps, which is by default present in our GDX library. Okay, we have already implemented that by using rectangle. So what we are going to do here, we will create a loop, we create a simple loop here around coins, as we have to detect for the coins. So we have to write, we will be writing two loops here. So first one will be the loop which will be detecting the collision between our man and coins, and second one is the loop where we will detect the collision between our bombs and the man. So why are we doing this separately? As we want different codes for them. So as our man collides with the coin, then different things should happen, like as the man collides with coin, the coin should get disappeared and our score should increase by 1. So and for the bombs, if our man collide with the bomb, then the bomb should get disappeared, also the game should get over. And we have also to change the frame of our man, like I have used, I guess I have used all of the things here, except for this one, dizzy one, that our the character will show whenever the games get over. So we will be using at the last video. Okay, so we are so close to our to completing our app. It will be fun seeing the result outcome, so just stay with me and write this code. So this time we want the loop, we were writing our loop, I have to put semicolon here, just wait. And at the last we have to use here the method, and we can do that by using if statement first. We have method called intersector dot overlaps, as I have told before. We have method called intersector dot overlaps. So we have three methods. We want this one, as we want to detect collision between two rectangles, so I will implement this one, and inside of that I have to pass two rectangles. So as this loop is for the coins, so I will see the detection of collision between our man and the coin. So man, I have passed man rectangles and coin rectangles, and inside of that okay, so it is showing error as because we have to get its position, get I. Okay, so now it is fine. So we will write a bit of code here, we will see that in the next video. So I will just show you here how to insert that. So we will be doing the same for bomb also, to detect the collision between bomb and our man. So I will paste that here separately. I'll just make the changes here, and here also we have to pass man rectangle and the bomb rectangles. Okay, so I think I should finish the video here, and in the last video we will be seeing that we will be writing the code inside of that, and that code should be and as man collides with the coin, then the score should increase, and also we have to insert the score at the bottom of the screen. so that it gets increased whenever the man collides with the coin. We will see that in the next video how to implement that. Hello guys and welcome back to the lecture. So in the previous lecture we have implemented this overlap method here, and in this video we will be using this in our code. Okay, so the thing I want to add in this video is we will be adding score. So we want to show a score board on the left corner of the screen. So for that, first we will be implementing a new variable which will be, I will name it score, and data type will be integer. Why it is post? Okay, so we will implement int score here and initialize it to 0. Okay, so when should this score gets increased? Whenever our man strikes a coin, then the score should increase. So we will find that overlap method. We can find that, I guess here we can see that if intersected dot overlaps man, rectangle and coin, that is whenever there is an intersection between our man and the coin, then the score should increase. Okay, so I will increase the value of score here. Score should get increased by 1, and also after, when our man strikes a coin, then the coin should get disappeared as if our man has hold that coin. Okay, so writing this after increasing the score, we will also be clearing the coins x axis, y axis, and also the coin rectangles. As we know that whenever our man collides with the coin, then the coin should get disappeared, as it should be seen like our man holds that coins. Okay, so I will just remove that coin. So we have a remove method of array list. We can use that with the index, as we have to remove just that coin which is interacting with our man. So we will just remove that one. Okay, we will be doing the same for coin wise dot remove I, and also we have to remove the rectangles. So I will also use the same for coin rectangles. And now at last we will just come out of the loop by writing break, as after overlapping, then the loop should end. So that will come out of the loop. And here for the bomb rectangles, whenever our man collides with the bomb, then the game should get over. And for this we have a different process. We will be doing that later on. So firstly I was saying that we have to introduce score. We have to show the score on our app at the left corner of the screen. So we have done this part. So now for implementing score, how can we introduce score to our app? This is just the variable that we have increased. So for that there is a class called bitmap. We can see that we have bitmap. We can use that for writing the fonts. So we have bitmap font. So what it does, actually it is a font type. We can use it on gaming apps or any other things. So this has different methods. So we will be using quite a few methods of it. Like we can set the color of the font, we can set its scale and also its position. So firstly we will be using the font. We will introduce bitmap font in our app. So I will just name it bitmap font. So here we have to implement the library. So I will just click on it and I will press Alt Enter. I guess there is some issue here. Class is not there. I will write it once again. Bitmap font, here it is. We have to implement that bitmap font and I will name it font. And now we will use that in our on create method here, as we want to show the score whenever we opens the app. So we will be writing that in the on create method. So firstly I have to create its class. So I will use font is equal to new bitmap font, and now we will be using its method. So the first method I will be using here is dot set color. So I will set its color. So I think white will be preferable, so I will use color dot white. And another method we can use here is font dot set data. I guess font dot get data should be. So we have to set its length, so that how much would be length of our font. So I will get the data and then set its font, which we can set by using set scale method. Okay, so inside of that we just have to pass the value, which is float type. So I will use 10. I think 10 will be okay. We can change if we want to after the testing. Okay, so we have successfully implemented. Now we just have to draw the font. So how can we do that? We know that as we draw the batch, like batch.draw method, so we will be using the same. So where to draw? I think we should draw it at the last inside of our random method where we have drawn the others. Okay, so before that I will be using that. So we will be writing the same as font.draw, and inside of that I have to pass the batch which we are using, and then we have to pass the value of our which value we have to show. So we want the score to appear in our font. So also it requires the string value, as we can see that string value, but our score is of int type. So to convert into variable to string, we have a method in Java which is string dot value of. So we will call that string dot value of, and inside of that we can pass the int value, which is our score. So the third thing we have to pass here is we have to pass two things, float x and y, which are its axis, like where is the position, as we want it in the left corner of our app. So I will be setting the x coordinate to 100 and the y coordinate to 200. I guess that would be okay. We can change it if we want. So let's just give it a run to test whether the score appears and works correctly or not. So here comes our app. We are too close to complete this app. I think there will be nothing much left in this. We just have to set the game states, like whenever the game should start and whenever game ends. So we can see that we have beautiful score here, and also we can see that on touching the coin is getting disappeared, and also the score is increasing. So congratulations, we have successfully implemented this. So now we are left with just few things, that it whenever it collides with our bomb, then the game should get over, score should get converted to 0, and also the game should start once again as soon as we tap the screen again. Okay, so we will be doing this in a little bit part. We will be doing this in video, and I think there will be one more video which will finish off our app. Okay, so for that we have to introduce game state in our coding part. We have write much of code, so I will implement it here. So we have to introduce a new variable which we will call int game state. And initially I will give its value to be 0. Okay, so there can be three conditions, like game state can be 0, 1 or 2. So when it will be 0, whenever we opens the app, when we just opens the app and we don't want any changes, like whenever the app opens and our man should be halfway of the screen. So I will be creating an if method here. I think I should do after that, and here we will use if game state is equal to 0, then I think firstly I will give it for 1. Game state is equal to 1, then something should happen, else we should go to its else part. Else, if game state is equal to 0, then something else should happen. And afterward, else if game state is equal to 2, then another part of code should run. Okay, so I will comment here and I will show what should happen where. Okay, so for the game state one with the we will this will be the part where our game should be live, like our game is on, we can write game is on. And for the game state 0, so here we will be commenting that waiting to start, like we are waiting to start the game. As soon as user touch the screen, the game will start. And for the last part, where the game should be over, so we will write game over here. So this is just the comments, so that you can remember which state holds which code. So we will be writing its code in the next video. I think this will be the last part of in making our app. So we have done pretty well till here, and we have written a lot of code here. Also, we have successfully implemented all these things. So just stay with me for last video, and we will be completing our app very soon in the next video. So in the last video, we have done till writing the game states for this, and now we just have to fill in the codes here, and we will be ready to run our app for the final time. Okay, so just just stay with me. Like for the game state 1, we will see for what is the game state 1, that game is going on. So we will be writing all that code inside that. So before that, I will be writing this one. As if the game state is equal to 0, then what should happen? Then we are waiting to start. So we will, as soon as the user touches the screen, then the game should start. Okay, so I will write the same code which we have done in the starting, that whenever user touches the screen, so we will use gdx dot input dot just touched, which we have a method for by gdx by default. So whenever it touches the app, the game state should get converted to 1, that is the game is on. Okay, so this part is done. Game state 0 part is done. Then we will be writing the code for game state 2. So what will happen, we have to write, I think we have to write a bit code for game state 2. So before that, we will writing the code for 1. So as the game is on, so what we want all these things, like bomb should come, bomb rectangles, bomb coins, and all other things. So I will just cut that code and I will put that in that. So I want all of this. I want this also, this from here. Okay, so we don't want batch.draw here. We want that from the beginning as our app opens. So I want that not specially for game state 1. So these are the things we want only to occur when the game state is 1. So I will just cut it from here and I will paste it in the game state 1 loop where we have created here. I will just paste it here. Okay, so we can see our game state 1 part is also ready. So we are just left with the game state part 2. So what should happen when the game is over? Also, I have left the code here for the bomb rectangles. Whenever the man should collide the bomb, then the game state should be converted to game state 2. As I have said that whenever our man collides a bomb, then the game should get over and all that stuff. So we will be writing the that code in our game state 2 loop. So we are just left with the last part here. So we will be writing here. So what should happen in the game state 2? So as the also here also I have to write that if gdx dot input, I will be using the same as the user touches the app, then the game should get shifted to again to 0. So that not to 0 to 1, so that game should get restart. Okay, so as soon as the user touches the screen, then the game state should shift to 1. Okay, so other things which should happen whenever the game state occurs to 2, then it is that we have to write inside, I think you have to write it inside. Then the game state should be equal to 1. Also the main y, which is our main, I think it is here. Man y should get shifted to its position, like it should get to its position which is halfway of the screen, as it should get restart. So I will just copy its value. I think we have to find it, so I will write it once again here, which was that we have write in the beginning that gdx dot graphics dot get height divided by 2, which is the same as the middle of the screen. We have implemented that in our first or second video, I guess. So all the other things which I want whenever the game state 2 strikes is the score should get equal to 0 as the game is over. So we again touches the screen, then everything should restores to default values. So game state should be 1 and the main y should get shifted to middle, score should be 0. Also velocity should be 0 as the it should get paused. Okay, so coin we will clear all the array list we have created, like we have created x is array list. So I will use clear function here. I have double implemented that. Also coin wise should get clear. I will be doing the same for all of them. Dot clear. And also coin rectangles, this one, they should also get clear, as we will be starting all the things from the very beginning. So these all should get clear. Also the coin count and the bomb count, they should also I think coin count, this they should also be set to be 0. Coin count, bomb count. Also the things which we have done for the coin wise and coin accesses, we should also do that for bombs. So I will just copy that. We have implemented bomb count, so we will not consider that here. So I will just copy this and I will paste it down here. And this one I want bomb axis. For this I want bomb wise, and for the last one I want bomb rectangles. Okay, so we are almost done. We are just left with a single thing. I guess before that we should give it a strike. You can check it if these all things are implemented or not. Let's just check it. Our app is still running. We have to wait. So here comes our app. So we can see that we have started from the beginning, and as we touch the game should start. So I will touch it. You can see the man falls, coins are coming. We can catch the coins. Yes, the score is increasing. Now I will touch the bomb. Let's just wait. Okay, we can see that we have touched the bomb, the scoreboard stops. So this is the function of the game state 1, and now I will just check whether the on touching the game state should shift to 1. So this is the game state 2. I will just touch it, like see the score is being shifted to 0, and we have started the game once again, and we can collect all these things. So congratulations, you have successfully implemented all these things. we are just left with a single thing which you can add extra to your app. Your app is completed here, but I want to add a dizzy character, as whenever the game as I touches this, then the our character should turn into dizzy one, where his eye gets starred, his both eyes goes stars. Okay, so what was that? I have implemented that image, inserted that image here. We can see that dizzy character. I see that I want to use this. Okay, so I will fastly do that. We'll just do that quick. We have to add new texture here, as we know that for every image we have to add a new texture. So I will be using it here. So I will use texture. It is taking a bit time. Texture, and I will name it at dizzy. Okay, as the name I have set the same. And now we have to draw that. For firstly I will use that here. After that, so I will use that. I have set the name dizzy, so I will use dizzy is equal to new texture, and I will write its path and the name. I have set dizzy dot png, so I have implemented that also. And now we have to just introduce that into our app. So where we can do that, I guess we have to use we have to set that for game state 2, so we will be using it here. I think I will draw it here. We can draw it inside also, but I will draw a separate method as the code is already being complexed in the above section. So I will again write an if condition. Sorry, I have tapped that by mistake. We can write it here. If the game state is equal to 2, so we have to write that into this part. So I have to draw, like I have to draw the dizzy character, so I will just copy it and I will paste it here. And I have to draw the badge. Inside of that I have to pass the dizzy one, so I will yes, I have copied all thing. I just have to remove this man state. I will use dizzy one here, and for the x-axis I want the same, and for the y-axis also I want the same. So I will just use else condition here, that whenever is the case of game state 2, then the dizzy character should appear, else the character which should appear, it should be the normal one. So I will just cut it and I will paste it above here inside of that. Okay, so I guess we are ready with this. Let's just give it a run to check whether the dizzy character appears or not. Still running, yes. Yes, it is. Here comes our app. I guess this will be the final time we will be running our app, so we can check it. Let's just give it a run. I will collect all the coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we will strike. Here we can see that we have implemented dizzy character. Okay, so I will just tap it once again to check whether everything is working fine. Yes, everything is working all right. So congratulations, we have successfully created this app, and I guess this will be the huge achievement for us to create this app, as this was a complex app. So we have successfully implemented that. So congratulations, and just stay with me and see my next wait for my next video, and we will be soon be creating a new one. Okay, thank you.